Uplifting community. Yeah, people, come on, yeah, yeah. Uplifting community. Yeah, people, come on, yeah. Uplifting community.
With your hosts, John Brown, Terry O'Neill, and T.D. Trice.
Uplifting. Whoa, whoa. Bring it together, y'all. Yeah. Uplifting.
Look here, give me some straight funk, no chaser.
Okay, we're back with Larry Graham and the Graham Central Station. Larry, congratulations on putting together such a fine group, and it's nice to have you here. Why don't you introduce everybody first?
Okay, ladies first. All right. We'd like you to meet Chocolate. Her name is Patryce Banks, and we call her Chocolate.
This is a true story. People keep asking me why I don't believe. I need straight funk with no chaser to make your body move. Give me straight.
My name is Choclet, Chocolate.
Welcome to Uplifting Communities Talk Show. This show is to provide information and real strategies for successful living. I'm Terry A. O'Neill.
I'm John L. Brown.
And I'm T.D. Trice. Welcome to today's program. Today we have a guest with us, a very special guest, Patryce Chocolate Banks. As the funk box player and female vocalist of Graham Central Station, Miss Banks helped define funkology for generations to come. Led by Sly Stone's former bassist Larry Graham, Graham Central Station brought new meaning to the life experience of funk with classic tunes like Can You Handle It, The Jam, and Feel the Need. Their biggest hit, though, was a ballad titled Your Love, fronted by Banks, who helped propel the group to #1 on the R&B charts in 1975. Miss Banks, welcome to today's program.
Well, thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. All right.
So let's go back to your adolescence here. You started in the music industry at a young age. Can you tell us how this happened?
Yes. Well, I started. My father was a preacher, so I started in church. The Easter program.
Okay.
I sang 3 years old. I sang "Yes, Jesus Loves Me," and so that's how I started.
That's a classic too.
Yes, it is.
So when the people were when I saw everybody looking at me and grinning and clapping, it was it. It was over. At 3 years old.
Wow.
Yep.
Nice.
And you remember those days, huh? Like
I do remember that.
very
Yeah.
vividly?
Yeah, I do
Wow.
remember that.
You know,
standing up in front of for the first time, even though I was only 3. That experience of being up in front of all those people and having all of them look at you and smiling and grinning at you. Yes, I remember that.
So when did you venture out beyond the church and start, because you were still in your adolescence when you started singing professionally, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, once I started, I just never stopped. I kept singing through school, like I was in every choir. I started out in the orchestra. I thought I wanted to play instruments, so I started out playing the cello. Then from elementary school on, like, I don't think I would have even graduated had it not been for music.
Wow.
Because music is what propelled me through school.
Right.
So yeah, just anything that had to do with music. And then when Aretha Franklin came out, I was trying to be another Aretha Franklin. And Mama, she had friends that were in bands. And when I was underage, she would take me to the clubs to go see them, and I would study them. And once it started, it just never stopped.
So with paying gigs, when did you start getting like a deal, just a music deal?
Paying gigs came right out of high school. These two managers of a group called the Doodletown Pipers, which was like an all-American type group, like the Young Americans and stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, good. They came to my high school and they had auditions, and I did the auditions singing Aretha Franklin and passed. And so right out of high school, I started my first professional gig. And we traveled all over the United States. We did TV. We did Ed Sullivan.
Wow.
2 or 3 times.
Really?
Ed Sullivan.
Ed Sullivan.
Wow.
So yeah, that's when I, like, right out of high school, I got my first professional gig. I had a band. I was doing things around town, but the real money was when I was with the Doodletown Pipers.
What say that?
The Doodletown Pipers.
Doodletown Pipers.
Google them.
You can Google everything
You can
these
Google
days.
everything and find it these days.
Yeah.
So Sly and the Family Stone, how did you get involved with, how did you get there?
Okay, well, after the Doodletown Pipers, I'm gonna try to make a long story short. While I was in the Doodletown Pipers, Dick Griffey, who was later on was the owner of Solar Records. So he was out on the road.
Records.
He was out on the road with the Supremes. He was their road manager. So they came one night to see us. And so he noticed me, and he told me if I ever decide to leave the Doodletown Pipers, give him a call. And I did. And so he became my manager. I got my old high school band back together, and we started working. He became my manager, and he was also a promoter. So he was promoting a gig that was coming up with the Young Rascals, Sly and the Family Stone, and Sly and the Family Stone. So I asked him if he would put my group on the bill, and he did. So we opened up. And so that's when I met. He introduced me after the show was over. He introduced me to, because Larry was my favorite, Sly next. So he introduced me to the group, and that's how I met Larry.
Okay, and then it was just magic, or do they just like what happened?
Well, after I met Larry, well, soon after I met Larry, yes, it was kind of like magic because I was in love. So I moved up to Oakland with Larry, maybe about less than a year after I met him, and he was still with Sly. So I was going on the road with him, with Sly, and then I had a group called Hot Chocolate at the time. So so Larry was producing my group called Hot Chocolate. So when he left Sly, he joined Hot Chocolate, and it became Graham Central Station. That's how that happened.
And that's how it was founded.
Yes.
So a lot of people don't know that you're actually the co-founder.
Exactly, because we had a whole group before he joined it.
Wow.
Nice. So you was one of the you were the co-founder of.
Right, it was my group, Hot Chocolate.
Right.
And then he joined, and it became Graham Central Station.
Okay, I got you. Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. I didn't know that. You know, as many times I used to listen to that y'all.
Yeah.
Right. That part.
Yeah.
That part.
So what was it like being on the road and traveling with Larry Graham and Sly and?
Well, traveling on the road with Sly was like, I don't even have words to really describe that because I was like a Sly and the Family Stone fanatic. So just being around, I wish that back in those days we had cameras and stuff like we do now on our phones and stuff, because I would have been like just taking pictures at all times because you know, it was surreal, really. It was just surreal. Like I couldn't even really enjoy it because I was too busy not believing that I was really there, to be honest with you, because I was just so, impressed by that group. I loved them. Like Sly and the Family Stone is who introduced me to funk music. Before them, I didn't even know there was a such thing as funk music. I was trying to be another Aretha Franklin, but when I heard
which is an
Sly,
entirely different style of music.
exactly. But when I heard Sly was all over, it just I knew exactly what I wanted to do from then on. So with Sly, we went a lot of different places. It was wonderful. I was just trying to just stay present most of the time. And with Graham Central Station, that was really fast. A lot of hard work. We did a lot of one-nighters, a lot of tours, opened up for a lot of people, just so fast. It was just so fast moving until I had to write it down in a book so that I could go remember it and really kind of relive it and enjoy it a little bit.
Wow.
Now,
Because it
do
was
you
fast
miss being on the road and doing all these nice shows and stuff?
I don't miss being on the road the way I was on the road. I don't miss it like that because it was hard work. And so I still go out every once in a while, but when I want to, I can pick and choose now. So I like going on the road like that. Yeah.
Okay.
So
All
it's
those
really
one-nighters
intense.
and all that, it can be real tedious.
Yeah, you ever, y'all keep in contact, you and your latest the people you was with at one time?
Well, the only person that I really keep in contact with now is Herschel. Herschel played the clavinet. A couple of the members passed. So Herschel is the only one. Larry and I, we don't keep in contact anymore.
Okay.
So you journaled or wrote about that in your book. So you're the author of three books.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about that.
You want to hold this one up?
Sure. Yes. Deja Vu.
Deja Vu,
Memoirs of a Funk Diva.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that one is the one that I put, my heart and soul in because I'm telling about what happened before Graham Central Station and after Graham Central Station as far as my career is concerned. And so, and I also, I figure there's no need to have a memoir if you aren't going to drop some choice tidbits. So I do have some things in there that people will be surprised to find out that happened. With Larry Graham, after I left Graham Central Station, I traveled with Shaka Khan and B.B. King and Rolls Royce. So I'm just, giving you some.
And those are classic.
Yeah, these are classics.
Oh
Yeah,
my
and so I have really good stories about
Yes, this is a
all
good
those
book.
experiences.
This is really
I
Deep.
want to know.
Really.
deep.
Hey, this is so exciting for me, everybody.
Okay.
I mean,
He's speechless over here.
Hey,
Yes.
I want to know, how was it working with Shaka Khan? Because that lady is, how is it working with her?
Well, okay, so you don't want the edited version, you want the truth, right?
I want the
you want me to
truth.
keep it 100, right?
Yeah, 100.
Well, Shaka was one of my favorite and still is one of my favorite artists. Nobody like Shaka. And being on the road with her was very interesting because, Shaka had problems. This is really no secret, though, with drugs. And so it was just interesting seeing how she was dealing with being on drugs and also trying to keep her career afloat. So that was just real interesting to me, and just being able to be on stage and sing with her because I really love her. But those drugs, once they get a hold to you, they turn you into a whole different person.
Oh, yeah.
So I can tell you this. No, I won't tell you that. Well, I can tell you this. I can tell you this. We used to take bets in the band because Shaka would come on stage and she would trip and fall a lot. So we started taking bets if she was gonna fall that night.
Oh my God.
And so I got rich. I won a lot. I made a lot of money on that one. But yeah, but it was great though. She is wonderful.
Yeah.
It was great. Nobody like her. I really enjoyed that experience.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So what's the highlight of your career, your music career?
The highlight of my music career. Wow. I think
It
that
sounds like there's so many.
yeah,
I know,
there have
right?
been so many. I don't think I really do. I think the highlight actually though was actually meeting, because like I said, I was a fanatic for Sly and Family Stone. So I think the highlight was getting to meet them
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it
now-
happened early on. Go
Yeah, it
ahead.
happened
So
early on.
you was with Larry Graham, then, and then with Sly and the Famous Stone.
Okay, Larry was with Sly. So I went out on the road with Larry while he was still with Sly for a little while. And then Larry left Sly and joined my group and became Graham Central Station.
That's why. Okay. Oh, wow.
So you're gonna sing something for us today.
Yeah, just
You're
a
gonna
little
sing
something.
something for us
Just a little
today.
something.
Yeah, we
But
got to
before
hear.
you sing something, I have one question I
Go
gotta
ahead.
ask. What is a funk box?
Okay, a funk box is, I think, one of the first rhythm machines that were ever made. So the rhythm machine simulates all the sounds of the drums. So you can either set it on automatic and let it just play the pattern out, or there are different buttons that simulate all the sounds of the drums and percussion, and you play those manually.
I get it.
So I was
get it.
playing the buttons manually to like percussion.
Yes, yes. Okay. So you were doing that before anybody was doing that.
I was doing that. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
I was doing that before anybody.
Because that's what they do now.
Nah,
you know,
that's right.
They
That's right.
do. They have the little beat machines, and they sit there.
That's right.
So you are the queen of the beat box. The
Well,
beat box.
funk-
You said
the funk box, because they call them beat boxes now. but
Oh, okay.
They used to be originally funk boxes.
They do call me the queen of the funk box, I guess, because
And you didn't bring it for us today?
no, it's precious, it's old.
Okay.
I have to take very good care of
Very
it.
good
Still
care of it.
got it.
Yeah, I still have it. As a
I
matter
know
of fact,
that's right.
I just used it last month. I did this funk festival in DC,
Okay.
and I took it with me,
All right.
and I just used it last month.
And you broke it out and amazed everybody.
Once a year. That's a once a year thing. That's it.
A little more than once a year, but
So
not
you
much.
still go on the road.
Yeah, I do. I still go on the road if
Nice.
it's something that I feel like I can be an asset to, because the thing about it is, one of my missions is to keep funk music alive, because it's trying to it's morphing into they're trying to turn it into everything that it's not.
everything else, right,
So
right.
I'm trying to keep it authentic and real and true. So anytime I can join an event or participate in an event that I can do that, then I'm happy to do that. So it was a funk festival in DC, and the proceeds went to this program called Concerts for Causes, and the money went to buying kids instruments in schools.
That
Yeah.
was nice.
So
That was
that's why I do it, because it's important that music stays in schools and kids learn how to play instruments.
Yes. It is an outlet, an energy outlet that kids have to have.
Exactly.
And it's just a shame that public schools just don't fund it like they used to.
Right.
Heavily funded. Yeah.
Right.
It's just
And what's
a
going to
shame.
happen to music if kids don't learn how to play instruments?
Right.
That's
So
right.
That part. Yes.
Well, with that being said, we
Now,
don't
back
have
to
an
singing.
instrument,
Yeah.
but
We do
we
have
do
her-
have
her voice.
chocolate,
Her voice.
and we got Unique over there who's gonna sing the back up. What's she singing?
she just gonna
She gonna
help
do
me
something.
funk it up.
Company.
Yeah, she gonna help
okay.
me funk it up right
Yeah,
quick.
she gonna have her funk it up. So we gonna
Okay.
jam.
Come
We
on,
gonna
let's
sit
get the
there and
show on the
listen.
road. I'm ready.
Just a little impromptu. We ready? Want me to start to do it right now?
Something.
Just
Yeah.
let's
Okay.
hear it.
All right, I'm gonna take us back to a Sly and the Family Stone song. Okay, how about that? Will that work?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Looking at the devil. Imagine the music. Grinning at his gun. Fingers start shaking. I begin to run. Bullets start chasing. I begin to stop. Hey. We begin to wrestle. I was on the top. I wanna thank you for letting me be myself again. Thank you for letting me be myself again. Hey, dance to the music all night long. Hey, hey, everyday people, come on, sing a simple song. Oh, Mama so happy. Mama start to cry. Papa still singing. You can make it if you try. I want to thank you. Let me be myself again. Thank you, yeah. Let me be myself again. One more time. Say, everybody say, thank you for letting me be myself again. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you. Yay! And thank you guys. I heard you over there.
Hey.
You better go there now. Okay. Get me.
Okay.
All right.
You should have heard me and Terry over here.
Okay.
I
was trying to be quiet. I didn't want nobody to hear me. I didn't want to mess things up.
Yeah, that's right. We was doing it.
Yes.
We was kind of tight with it, you know.
I'm reminded of, I remember because I have the 45 or had the 45, and it said, the top word said thank you.
For letting me be myself.
And then it was one long word for letting me be myself.
MICELF.
LF. Again.
Myself.
Yeah, yeah.
I just like I told, what's your daughter's name?
Unique.
Unique. I told her, I said, yeah, I used to sing in a group. And she said, you did? Oh, that's nice. She said, who you sang with? I say, Slim Needle and the Czar Stars.
Oh my goodness. So you have another song. You have a song, well, what's your latest song? Black Eyes. If we could talk briefly about that, because where that came from, what inspired that song.
Okay, Black Eyes. Okay, Black Eyes actually came from the fact that, like I said, I was with Larry. We were a couple for about 5 years, going on 6 years. And so Larry liked to fight women. So Larry physically abused me for a while, and I was young, and I didn't understand it, and I was kind of trapped in it for a minute until, because it was the first time that had ever happened, and I did not know what to do, and I was young, and so, but my mother is the one that saved me, right? Because you have to tell somebody eventually, Right. So I told her, and so I managed to get out of that. But that's where Black Eyes came from. Came from my abusive relationship with Larry.
And you can, we don't have time to watch it obviously right now, but you can find it on YouTube. And if you want to tell us briefly, what are you working on anything right now?
Well, right now, like I said, what I'm doing is I'm trying to do everything I can. My mission is to keep funk music alive. I'm trying to do everything I can to do that. I'm writing songs. I'm joining with people, like I said, concerts for causes, trying to make sure kids know how to play instruments. And so that's basically what I am focusing on right now. Mental illness is important to me. I'm trying to advocate for that anytime I can. Also, abusive relationships, domestic abuse, advocate for that at all times. So, have 2 grandkids. One of them is right here in Sacramento right now, running in the special
junior
Olympics.
Not the Special Olympics, but
not
the junior.
The junior.
Right.
So just being busy.
Yeah. Okay. And they can find you online at PatryceChocolateBanks.com.
And I'm also on Facebook and Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all social media outlets, reach out and touch her.
Yes.
That's
Final
perfect.
thoughts?
Yes. Well, we want to thank you for being on today's program.
It's
thank
over.
you for taking so many. Yeah, I know. And it just seemed like we just got started.
Okay.
Right.
But thank you so much for spending your time with us and sharing with us your story. Again, the website is
www.patricechocolatebanks.com. It's CHOCLET. Do it for us. Say
My
it for
name
us.
is CHOCLET, Chocolate.
Okay. Banks.com.
So that's it for today's Uplifting Communities program. Real quick, I'd like to also invite you to become a friend of Access Sacramento. Access Sacramento is a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and your donations to Access Sacramento to continue funding a fabulous facility like this one your donation is fully tax deductible. And so I'd also like to thank the entire crew, the volunteers here that have joined us so very much. Big Al, Leo, Courtney, Bruce over there, Dan giving some emotional support, and Unique is Patryce's daughter.
Yes.
She was lending the voice there. And in the control room, we have Sydney, who's doing audio, Bim doing CG. We've got Ricardo doing technical directing, and also to Kay, who is assistant directing, I believe. And then our director, John Jackson, and Marilyn, who is doing hands-on, just setting up everything. So just like to thank the entire crew for everything that they do, putting on productions like this to ask the question, what are you doing to uplift your community? And with that, I'm T.D. Trice.
I'm Terry A. O'Neill.
And I'm John L. Brown.
Thank you for watching today's program. Take care.
Good night.
Community, so we can get it right. We can get it right. Waiting on you. Uplifting. Whoa, whoa. Bring it together, y'all. Yeah. Uplifting. Need some uplifting, yeah. We can get it right. Uplifting, uplifting community. Bring our people up to get it right. Uplifting community.